Hello and welcome. Today we're working on how to do all the profitability ratios. Now there's really 4 profitability ratios on an income statement. There is the operating profit margin, the net profit margin, the gross profit margin, and the pre-tax profit margin. Now I didn't put those in order. I'm going to calculate the numbers and we're going to put the label next to it. Now I have a full set of videos for all these different ratios to how to calculate them directly. But we're going to do them all together using a technique called common size analysis. Sometimes this is called vertical analysis. So we're going to take all the income statement numbers and divide by the original sales, net sales here, the 50,000. So for example, we're going to take 50,000 divided by 50,000. I'm going to make that second 50,000 absolute so I can copy it all the way down. Now 1 is going to be 100%, so I'm going to copy just the numbers down. And I'm going to format them for lines and for percentages. So let me do this really quickly. So here are the lines. I don't want them to be dollar amounts, so I'm going to change them to percentages and give myself 1 extra decimal place. So now 50,000 divided by 50,000 is 100%. Well, that's not very exciting. But if you took 27,000 divided by 50,000, then that is your cost of sales or cost of goods sold percentage, which leads us directly to the 100 minus 54 gives you 46%, or 23,000 divided by 50,000. So that is your gross profit percent here. So what do we call that? That's our first profit calculation. We're going to call this the gross margin. So the gross profit margin is 46%. Then we subtract out 15,000 or 30% of sales to get EBIT. Now what is EBIT? Earnings before interest and taxes. If you don't know that number, you can start with net income and add the interest and get 7,100. You can add the add the tax first and get 7,100, then add the interest of 900 and you get EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes. That number is also called operating profit or operating income. So what right here, 8,000 divided by 50,000, 16% is going to be what profit margin? Well, this is operating profit margin, so we're going to label it here, operating profit margin. Then we subtract out interest expense and we end up with EBT, so earnings before tax. Can also be called pre-tax profit. So what's that 14.2%? Well, it's pre-tax profit margin. Pre-tax profit margin. And then subtract out the income tax, and we're left with net income. So if you take net income divided by your sales of 50,000, we get something almost 10%, 9.9%. So that's called what? Well, hey, you're cheating. You're looking at the only thing we have left, but that is your net profit margin, and that's return on sales. So 9.9% is our profit margin or our net profit margin and return on sales. So let me mention this. They all have the word profit in it, but if you just hear the word profit margin, then generally they're talking about the net profit margin. You could see return on sales or ROS. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.